My role in Voxpro is Head of Quality, so as Head of Quality I help with the strategy and the cultural alignment in terms of the customer experience that we offer to our clients. Our vision is providing beautiful customer experience to companies that are changing the world. Beautiful customer experience from a quality perspective is providing the best possible service that you can as if you were the customer and looking at it from that perspective at all times. About 7 years ago when I started with Google, we were a small call centre. Google contract was only 10 people initially and now it's up to 250. And since then we've attracted clients like Airbnb and Stripe, Nest, Withings, and a number of other global contracts. In terms of how we measure customer experience, it very much depends on the individual client. Primarily it's done through surveys directly to the client, so we have no interaction in terms of the actual surveys, and then the client receives them back and we get insight into those surveys, and we measure both productivity and customer sentiment through that. In terms of the challenges, I guess we've been globalizing now for 4 or 5 years. We're on 3 continents. Our clients are literal rocket ships, bringing us to the moon with them, and trying to expand and globalize, as well as providing incredibly good customer experiences, which these global brands demand, has been, I suppose, a challenge, but one that we've risen to each time, which is evidenced by the amount of clients that we get. What is our biggest challenge? I guess it's measuring or analysing the metadata. We have no end of data sources. It's understanding what the customers are truly saying to us, because that's ultimately the pot of gold that the clients are looking for. All of our individual clients have their own CRMs. That provides its own challenges. So when I took over as Head of Quality, one of the things I wanted to do was implement a one-size-fits-all quality platform. In terms of measuring the customer sentiment, we use a data warehousing type of methodology that brings in surveys, that brings in all the other metrics, but we use Scorebuddy in terms of measuring the quality. So essentially that allows us to analyse all of the quality metadata in one service or one platform, which we then can import into our data warehousing to be distributed then to the various functionalities in order to improve service. I suppose before Scorebuddy there was as many different ways of gathering and analysing the data as there were CRMs, and one of the key problems with that was we didn't get to see the global picture. Since we started to use Scorebuddy and we've had the various clients starting to analyse the data directly in Scorebuddy, it has allowed us to, as well as see an individual agent level, to see it at manager level, at department level, but now for the very first time over the past 12 months at an actual global level in terms of the various sites. So that gives us insights that we could only have dreamed of. I trained as a COPC, or was accredited as a COPC trainer about 2 years ago now, and their methodology has been, I bought into it. I'm an evangelist. In terms of quality, one of the key pieces was the side-by-sides and coaching and analysing the data in real time. How we actually have integrated that is by asking the agents to analyse their own work through Scorebuddy. So they have access to Scorebuddy, the surveys are analysed by the agent into Scorebuddy, and we get to measure self-awareness on department level to see exactly where training cadence is required, to see where focus is required, and to see how ultimately we can improve the customer experience through the agents telling us themselves, as opposed to a quality lead analysing it and interpreting. What actually happens is an agent does a ticket, the survey goes to the customer, the survey comes back from the customer through the client's CRM, but then what do you do with that if the survey isn't great? And then inevitably there will always be some customers who, for whatever reason, are not happy. The key thing is looking at these huge amounts of data and being able to do something with it. So what we have got through using Scorebuddy and moving away from kind of manual systems on a departmental level, we've got the agents essentially gathering our metadata for free. And then we've changed our quality leads to actually be an analytical and a support and a coaching service rather than just a metadata gathering agency. Because ultimately, quality leads are quite an expensive asset, and because we have over 50 of them, it's a very expensive asset. In terms of adding value to our clients, rather than sitting there with headphones, we now have them looking at the data that the agents are gathering for us, and in that way we are progressing the service.